Hey guys, today I will be going through my favourite long songs of all time. I decided to go with songs which are over 8 minutes in length. It is an arbitrary number, but for this list, 8 minutes is the cutoff, and anything longer than that I decided to potentially include in this list. I've got a massive variety of genres here. It was a struggle to find too much outside of the sort of like metal and rock genre. There's not too many like hip hop or dance songs which go this long that I love. But without further ado, let's get into the list. To start with, I've got the song Telegraph Road by Dire Straits. This was one of the first songs over 4 minutes long that I was ever shown. I remember my dad showing me this song in the car on his iPod, probably like 12 years ago, and I was blown away. Masterful storytelling, the way that the instrumental just mimics the story that's going on at the same time, as the town builds from a wilderness into this bustling area somewhere in America, and then slowly breaks down into decline. This might be my favourite song on the entire list. I'm not sure at this point, but it brought back so many memories listening to this song in preparation for this video. Next up, we've got a song from Kendrick Lamar called Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. This is one of the most critically acclaimed songs in his entire discography, just over 12 minutes long, I believe. And many people rank this as the best hip-hop song of all time. It's not a personal favourite of mine in his discography, however, I can really see the appeal. Kendrick's storytelling is on a next level, telling the story and the reflection of the lives of a friend who passed away and then also a sex worker. Then he shifts perspectives inwards to how violence and trauma impacted his and their lives. This isn't the highlight of Good Kid, Mad City for me, but since everyone else seems to love it, I thought I would definitely include it, or else it's just going to be the top comment. Completely switching genres again, I've got Withstand the Fall of Time by Immortal. This is the opening track to one of my favourite black metal albums of all time, At the Heart of Winter from 1999. It is one of these albums which sounds exactly like the album cover, and this track is no different. The song is essentially freezing cold, icy, Nordic war music. There are these sort of folkish, evil vocals as well, but it's not the themes aren't necessarily, they're not satanic like a lot of black metal, so it has a bit of a broader appeal, which I prefer. I'm not particularly into any of the satanic stuff. On top of that, the playing is absolutely insane. All of the playing from this entire album is amazing, but specifically on the opening track, the guitars, the drums, the vocals, brilliant. It's the peak of this album. It wouldn't be fair to talk about long songs without talking about one of the most critically acclaimed experimental post-rock bands of all time, Swans. I'm going to start with Bring the Sun / Toussaint Louverture. I'm not French, thank God, so I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is a massive track from To Be Kind, one of the longest in their entire discography. I believe it's just over 33 minutes long, and all of the long Swans tracks from the big three era of albums from them seems to have this crushing guitar riff at some point, which just repeatedly chugs over and over and over for seemingly forever. I think on this song it goes on for almost 10 minutes on this track. It's also the kind of music you have to listen to on full volume. The crescendo as I suppose it's the choir and Michael Gira are singing Bring the Sun and just like shouting Sun over and over for the first 2/3 of the song roughly. I actually can't remember how long it goes on for, but it's a massive chunk of the song that they are just repeating Bring the Sun, Bring the Sun. Then we get to the section where the engine is cooling off and we get a little bit of respite from the chaos before we go into the really abstract and avant-garde section. I don't like the second half as much as I like the first. Gira does drone on quite a lot as he repeats random phrases in French. Again, I'm not French, thank God, so I don't really know what he's saying. I've not actually looked into the meaning of this track, but it is a unique experience and well worth a listen if you're interested in any of this more experimental post-rock sound. That brings me on to my favourite song from Swans, The Glowing Man, the title track from The Glowing Man. The reason I decided to include both of these songs is because The Glowing Man is actually, I believe it was a live adaptation of Bring the Sun, which is why lots of the crushing, repetitive riffs that are used in the first half of The Glowing Man are almost identical, if not slight. I believe the tempo is slightly different to Bring the Sun. We get this cult-like chanting to start the track, which is haunting and crazy. It's an insane track. All of the songs on these albums are insane. The noise continues for a while, and then we get this nice, peaceful piano melody before we jump into one of the grooviest sections on any of the songs on this list. If the song is anything to go by, you should not trust anyone called Joseph. I don't trust anyone called Joseph. I don't know any good Joes in the world. You know who you are. But for Gira, the character Joseph is this sort of nagging, clawing puppeteer almost in his brain, which takes control of him and makes him do things he doesn't like, intimidates him, scares him, terrifies him. So we get a sense of his mental state during this song. And then they repeat the title of the song a little bit, and then we get more of a cool down section at the end, and brings it out into this sort of slow droning part of the track. It's not as long as Ring the Sun, but it is, in my opinion, it is the best track that Swans have ever made. From potentially the most abstract and inaccessible song to a regular music listener, to the most accessible and most recognisable song on this list, Runaway by Kanye West. It's Kanye's longest song behind Last Call, reaching just over 9 minutes long. We get this iconic piano melody that everyone recognises if you're a Kanye West fan or not, and then both Ye and Pusha T open up about their failures in relationships and the damage that they cause to themselves and others. I remember on my first listen really enjoying the first half, but then sort of being entranced by the second half, where Ye uses a vocal filter and sings through it, so you sort of get this muffled sound which sounds like he's singing directly into like an amp. You can't really tell what he's saying, but once you've learned the lyrics to the first half of the song, you can follow along pretty clearly. From what I know, it's just him repeating the same section of the song that we've had before, although it is impossible to tell really. There's probably a deeper meaning to that second half that I don't quite understand yet. Again, I'm not a massive fan of going onto Genius and trying to work out all of the ins and outs of what the writer was thinking. I prefer to sort of let it organically happen over time, but I've not quite worked out this what's going on in the second half of this song yet. Once again, switching genres completely to this avant folk, progressive folk, massive, insane, weird song from the Microphones called The Sun, the opening track from their critically acclaimed album Mount Eerie. This is the only song on this list that can match the weirdness and abstractness of the Swan songs that we've had. The majority of the song is made up of these drums that sort of bounce between your headphones, going from side to side over time. That is until we get to the last third of the song, where Phil Elverum, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, the lead singer and genius behind the Microphones, he introduces the main character of the album and tells us a little bit about his life. The chaos sort of builds until the end, and then we get this static hum which transitions nicely into the second track on this album. It is a very, very strange song in terms of tracks that I would recommend listening to on this list. This one, you can take it or leave it. It's very weird, and if you're not into folk music or the Microphones, it'll be a struggle to get into, but it is worth it. I think it's worth pushing your boundaries and experimenting with what sounds you like and what sounds you don't. The second to last song on this list that I've put together is Always on My Mind / In Your House by Pet Shop Boys from their album Introspective. It is one of my favourite, if not the favourite, dance song that I've ever heard. It is an amazing track. Pet Shop Boys are criminally underrated. They have this ability in the production process to seemingly press any button on a soundboard and just fit it perfectly into a song. The track blends the iconic single Always on My Mind, which is incredibly recognisable, especially in the UK. It's played on the radio all the time. They decided to blend the single with a new section of the song called In My House, which is this acid house progressive dance sort of section, which adds so much depth to the track and extends it and lets the crescendo build up until we get to the iconic synth section. I'd say if you're going to give any of these songs a go and you've not heard of the albums before, Introspective is one of the best albums on this list. I don't hear enough people talking about it. It's got some of the best production from the 80s, and it doesn't sound outdated at all. I couldn't finish this list without talking about some classic heavy metal, so I've decided to go for The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Iron Maiden from Powerslave. It's a 13-minute long track and closes out the album perfectly. I actually only just found out while writing the script for this video that it was an adaptation of this 1798 poem, which in itself is so long that the Genius page just goes on and on and on. And I didn't actually read through the entire poem. I got a summary of it, luckily. But both the song and the poem tell a story of a man committing this act of aggression against nature taking revenge on him and cursing him, and then him warning other people of this curse. That's a brief summary of the poem and the song. If you dive into this, it is a lot deeper than that. There's just so much to break down in this song if you're into lyricism. We do get some of Maiden's best instrumental here. I love the first section and the way that the song closes out, as well as during the middle of the track when the character has sort of gone through this, this spiritual death curse that has been placed upon him. We get a lot more of a peaceful instrumental section. Reminded me a little bit of some early King Crimson. So that is it for my list of the greatest long songs of all time. Please let me know in the comments any long songs that I missed that are over 8 minutes long. If it's 7 minutes and 59 seconds, unfortunately for this list, it does not count as a long song. I guess it is slightly arbitrary, but that's what I went for here. Let me know which songs on this list you love, which songs on this list you don't like, and give me more recommendations in the comments. I'll make a Spotify playlist with all the songs that get recommended here. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I appreciate any comments I can get, and any feedback as well is always appreciated. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.